Hey toy fans, so we're going to try something a little bit differently until I get my old software and stuff kind of settled and dealt with and done. We're going to be going through OBS, which is my live streaming, but I'm just kind of recording the episodes and then putting them out, okay? If you're familiar here lately, I've been doing a lot of my live builds here, and we'll probably try to do a couple live builds here and there, but I kind of want to take a look at some of the action figures I've been getting, because originally this channel started with action figures, and I'd like to continue on with them, because guess what? I still like action figures, right? So with this, we're going to be looking at Hasbro's g.i.joe Cobra Dreadnok Monkey Wrench. Now, Viper Island, they had this on one of their top 10 lists, and several other people have had them on their top 10 list. I just got mine in recently, and I got to tell you, he looks great. I've got so far, I've got Zartan, I've got Zarana, I've got Rawhide or Nagahide with his pork belly, and then I've got Monkey Wrench. So I don't have all the Dreadnoughts, but I've got a few of them, and I enjoy the ones that I do have. I am on the look for Torch, and of course Ripper and Buzzer, and if they put out a air skiff with my Pirate Boy on there, I'm definitely getting that one, because that is probably one of my favorite Dreadnoughts overall. My uncle got that for me back when I was a kid. His name is Uncle Bo, but I called him Ob Claynew, and he called me Royal Yat. So if you know me as Taylor, that's my name backwards. Uncle Bo is Ob Claynew. That's his name backwards, and that was our little weird joke. Hey, that's what we do, right? As families, we get weird about it. All right. So looking at the package here, we got, of course, Cobra Dreadnok Monkey Wrench. We got the g.i.joe Classified logoing here. If we look on the side, and the good thing is these are not closed out packages, so they are windowed. You can see what you're getting. We got 167 here. We've got a whole bunch of things here. It talks about him, a QR code you could scan to see what he is, what he does. It looks like that's a piracy. The others, I don't know. Maybe he's a Duracell battery. Who knows? But all right, we're going to go to the back and take a look here. We got this cool picture of him, of course, with his, spear gun and his axes, his wrench axes, up on his shoulder with his sunglasses. He's a cool looking dude, right? We know that we get this Cabal looking mask here. We get a bandolier of grenades. And I got to tell you, if someone walks in with the bandolier of grenades, don't mess with them. We always had a joke that if we had someone that went into a store and they had a severed arm and they robbed the place, they were essentially doing armed robbery. Keep that in mind. But I bet you would never mess with them. Don't ever do that. Kids, don't. Bad call. All right, down here we got a bunch of legalese. We don't need any more of that. And then, of course, we got a picture of him with his Cabal mask and his two axes here. If that's not essentially out of Mortal Kombat, I see it. I don't know what else to tell you. I think of Cabal from, was it Mortal Kombat 2 or 3, where he's got the two scythe things up and he's got his mask. And yeah, I mean, that looks just like it. To be honest, look at that. Yeah. Come on. Legalese on the bottom, there's the barcode if you want to see it. I don't know how clear that's going to show up. And then, of course, on the top, 167 and that Cobra emblem. Let's get our trusty knives. This one's got sprinkles on it. All right, we're going to open this bad boy up. We're going to take a look, and we're going to see what we got, right? All right, so we'll open up the top here, slide them out. We got more legalese papers. We don't need that. And, of course, on the back, you've got that Cobra emblem in there. Pretty cool stuff. We'll set that off to the side. All right. Now, with the blister pack, we got a lot of really cool stuff here. We're going to go ahead and pop that out. We've got that mask. So we got the masks attached to the hair. His hair is slicked back, and I believe that's going to pop off his head. And then you can slide that over his face and onto his hair. Pretty cool stuff. We got a fist. Because, I mean, he's a brawler, so why not? I guess he can get in a bar fight if he wants to. I mean, he's a dreadnought. He is technically a pirate. And get that knife back out. We got some areas of hard contention here, also known as, we got some tape, some invisible force fields that's keeping us from opening up our figures even more. All right, we got these cool sunglasses. These are semi-translucent too. Look at that. That's gonna be pretty cool. We got a mouth up bandana, so that's gonna be a bandana that goes up on his mouth. We got this cool, it's almost like a Colt's revolver. That looks a little bit like my Ruger that I have. I got a Ruger 22. And these, of course, are not automatic. They are all manual. You slide that hammer back and let that fly. Then, of course, you got this cool spear gun. Now, this thing has got, it's got a detachable spear, and it almost looks like a shotgun underneath. Pretty cool. Looks like something that was cooked up in a madman's factory, to be quite honest. All right, we don't have one, but we have two of these wrench axes. Looky there. That is pretty cool. You got an axe on there. You got a wrench. It's wrapped up. You know, I'm thinking I might try to find the rest of my welding stuff. That might be some cool things to make. Some wrench axes. I wonder how my wife would feel about that. Hey, honey, I'm going to go to the store, buy some extra wrenches, because I need to make wrench axes. I don't think that one's going to fly over too well, to be quite honest. All right, and then, of course, we got Monkey Wrench. We're going to set this out to the side there. Let's take a look at our action figure, shall we? Yeah. All right, so he's got a gnarly maul on him. Look at that face. Man, it looks like me after doing a whole bunch of yard work, and I'm all scratched. I'm like, argh. I'm like, die, plants. You're never coming back on my fence yet again. They always find a way to come back, though. I mow it, it comes back no matter what. All right, but he's got a gnarly maul on him. He's got this cool bandolier, and this bandolier has got some opening pieces here where you can actually put those axes. Oh, nice. That is pretty cool. So you can actually rock the back of that axe in, set it right there, and that holds tight to them. Now, the grenades do not come off, but that's okay. I couldn't imagine like trying to keep up with all these grenades. We're gonna pop this off of them. That bandolier does come off, so if you don't want it on there, you can take it off. He's got this gnarly skull and crossbones tattoo. My tattoos don't look nearly that cool. They're cool, but not skull and crossbones. Not even crossbones. Wrench crossbones cool. All right, so we've got this here. He's got pinless articulation in his elbows. Mine is super tight, but not so tight, which is kind of nice because in the past we've had some figures that I've been questioning on if their arms are actually going to move or not. Of course, you've got this vest here. This vest, it looks like probably could be removable if you wanted to. So if you wanted to pop that off, you could. And of course, he's got a muscular buck here. His hair does slide off, and his head does pop off. So if you want to take that bandana off there and replace it with that one, you can. So you can pop that on, do that, put that on there, probably put his shades on underneath everything. Let's see. Now that is a cool look. Hey, it's those little features like that that make classified so nice. And it's something that I really have to commend them. This figure, I can already see why this is kind of the top tier action figures right now. The slight texture in the jeans, the rips here, the chains, everything, it doesn't hinder any articulation. It's built into the build and everything itself. It looks nice. You've got the bandanas wrapped on the legs. You've got good articulation cut within everything, so it makes sense on where it's at. Of course, you got your normal thigh cuts. I like that design-wise, he has almost like seat belts. Seat belts, that's right, seat belts, because he's a mechanic, right? For his holsters and for the bandolier, he's got these seat belts. Of course, he's got a skull, crossbones thing up here. He's got a tear in his knee on his pants. He does have a working holster here, and it does fit that Colt nicely. Look at that. Not too bad. Not too bad, Hasbro. Not too bad. All right, this it's on there kind of tight, so you can move it around and adjust it as need to, but I don't think you need to do it that much. He does have that ab crunch, nice and clicky, and he does have a little bit of that waist rotation as well, which is cool. So if you wanted to hula hoop, he'll hula hoop, right? You got another dagger tattoo over here, and of course all the standard articulation for your figures. And those double hinge elbows, pinless on the knees and the elbows are nice. Now let's go ahead and take a look at his Cabal suit here. They're gonna pop that off, and he does come with this really cool. It's almost like a Taurus style necklace here. We're gonna pop his head back on, and then we're gonna pop this mask over. So this thing, I think, is supposed to just fit right on top, and then that goes right in there. That's a tough looking mask. I like the I like the blue and the red, almost like the old 3D glasses sort of thing. Like he's expecting to watch Jaws 3D right now. But I like that. Obviously a very 80s niche thing. Kids, if you don't know, you don't know. Don't worry about it. But if you want to know, back in the day for black and white, so you used to take the picture, kind of move it back and forth, or like they would kind of like split it, so you'd have like a little red frame, little blue frame. You'd look at it, and it looked like it was 3D. Most of the time, it just gave me a headache, honestly. A lot of the 3D stuff in the theater does, but this is how they used to do it with the red and the blue. And I think there was like some books that did that too. I know I think I had a dinosaur book that had the red and blue and looked like the claymation dinosaurs were supposed to be 3D. Cool stuff. Seriously, cool stuff. All right. Well, for me, I'm going to take this off. I'm going to put his bandana back on here. It's a shame because I really want his necklace to stand out, but I also like that bandana. So I'm gonna pop his hair back on. We're gonna put his bandolier back on, because I want him to have his bandolier here. Again, it's like a seat belt sort of thing. And then we'll give him his gun here. Now his hands are a little stiff as usual, which is interesting because the gun actually feels a little bit stiffer than usual. So that's going to be kind of an area of anger for some people that are trying to pose them, right? But we got him here. Let's put his sunglasses on. I gotta tell you, as far as the paint application on the face with the eyebrow ring and the scars, even the eyes, the pupil, all of that, that is an incredible paint job. That is probably one of the best printings I think I've seen in a very long time. It's pretty good. Of course, you got his fist. Now, I don't normally like popping out the hands. Oh, hey, looky there. I'm glad I popped off. You can take off those cuffs, so if you want to switch out hands, there we go. So we can bring his hand up. He can go, I heard the story about this one guy that was at a restaurant, and the kid kept looking at him and was doing like this, going to the bathroom and everything. Come to find out, the guy looked like Wolverine, and the kid thought he was Wolverine, was hoping he'd pop out his claws. I've never had that. I've never had a kid think that, but that's okay. I don't need that. I probably have kids asking me if I have a diamond axe at home. I'm like, I'm not Steve, guys. I'm not. All right. And then, of course, look at that. That is a good looking action figure. I dig him quite a bit. Like the paint on this is outstanding. And I got to tell you, if they do, here, let me set him up right there. We'll kind of pose him like this. We'll put his parts here. Yeah. That is a cool action figure. So honestly, if they were, I know that they're doing or wanting to do the the Thunder Machine, and I can't remember, is it Wrecker that's the driver for that. I got to be honest, I've never been a big fan of the Dreadnought Thunder Machine, but after seeing him, seeing Gnawhide, dealing with Zorana, I'd like to get, was it, I got Zorana, I'm trying to remember the brother's name, it's another Zar thing, so I got Zartan, Zorana, and then there's the other brother, which is also Zar, can't remember off the top of my head. But thinking about that, thinking about the Dreadnoughts, honestly, I think a Thunder Machine would be great, and you definitely want to put a lot of pegs on it so that way you have plenty of room, because you're going to, especially those who have all the Dreadnoughts, this is like the pilot vehicle for them. This is the big vehicle. You definitely want to make room for all of these characters here, right? I would also say with this, it's a great figure. If you happen to get one, enjoy it. This is probably, I have to admit, as far as like print, coloring, the way that he looks, articulation, everything on him, the accessories he come with, genius. It makes sense. You can tell that this was a love item of somebody's, that they really wanted to make this character and do a fantastic job on him. That's a good action figure. So for me, I definitely can give it 5 stars. This is worth picking up. Okay, this is worth getting online and definitely enjoying. I might see if maybe I can put this in my shop. I don't know if I get anything from Amazon in the Linktree shop for referencing this, but if I can, I'll put this in the Linktree shop, linktr.ee/TayRayGun. Of course, right there at the bottom, TayRayGun, one word. You can find my link tree there. I'll put this in the shop so it's available. Maybe I'll drop it down in the comments so you have just a quick link and you can automatically go there. Well worth it. I'm going to admit, well worth it. This is a great action figure to have. Well, that's all I got to say about Monkey Wrench. Monkey Wrench is a phenomenal action figure. Definitely say well worth it. I think it'd be a cool one to add to your Dreadnoughts. Till then, hey, I love you all. Jesus loves you more. Nothing you can do about it. Good luck with the toy hunt, and I wish you happiness in the long run.